Hello, hello, hello. My name is Kylo,
And my name is Magi.
and we're your hosts of SuperWho.
SuperWho.
So, today we're going to be talking about a Mr. Max Earhart.
Mr. Earhart. I hope y'all all know his real name is
Magneto.
Magneto.
So, Mr. Magneto, he was first not issued, but
Introduced.
introduced in 1963 X-Men comics. That that's way beyond my time limit.
I can't even remember the 60s.
Like you were born since then.
Of course, that's why I can't remember it.
Whatever. So, in the bio, he was born in Germany around 1920, the First World War. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, if you use the timeline of like the reality of now and from where he started, he's oof. Right now he'll be 102 years old,
Dang.
and he still look good. What his age cream secret?
He's still kicking it. Hey, so now time to get into what happened with his family, because that's not such a good story. So
Yeah, every person has a backstory. So let's see what kind of actually happened.
so we don't really have the names of his mother and sister on here, but his father, Mr. Jacob Earhart.
Yeah, all y'all Jacob fans, oh.
He was a part of the military.
So
And
Magneto was a military brat. So
yes, he was a military brat. Now, they fled from Germany to Poland. Now, I believe it was once Mr. Jacob got discharged.
mm,
So, after that, something happened. Of course, the Nazis. And they said, we got to go. We got to get out of here. So, Jacob took all his family and moved to Poland. Now, you would think they would be safe.
yeah, you would think they'll be
They
safe.
were not. Because they were caught and put into Warsaw ghetto.
When I saw that Warsaw ghetto, I was thinking like, dang, it was like what gangster back then too.
They
But
bring
then
me
like,
the ghetto. But yeah, no, they got moved there. And they tried to escape from there. But they were betrayed. I believe by a family friend who they made or by somebody who was just trying to get out there themselves.
by any means necessary. You know how those people can be.
Oh yeah.
They can like, oh, they want to do the same thing as you, but then they can throw you under the bus so quickly just to get their way
Oof.
faster and easier for them. And
So,
don't care about you either.
not even a little bit, brother. So they were caught again, but this time it was a lot worse. They were put in front of a firing squad,
Oh boy.
and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what happens when you get put in front of a firing squad. You don't come out alive. But only one person came out alive in that family, and that was Mr. Magneto. And it was because of his powers finally awakening at that moment. And ain't that about a
I mean, when they call it in the nick of time, that was in the nick of time.
yeah, but it would have been better if he could have saved his whole family.
Yeah, it would have been better. But one thing I don't understand that after that happened, they they kept him. They kept him and assigned him as a military officer,
Yeah.
which he's. I bet since his power just awakened, he probably didn't understand how to really control it, or
Mm-mm.
it just became a. Could have been like a sudden active. It came active and then he probably passed out after it, and then probably couldn't remember nothing
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Because how can you have your powers activated and then you have bullets right in front of you just sitting there chilling? I don't know if he propelled them back or it just stopped and then dropped. Because, boy, if I was able to catch those bullets, I would have propelled them back.
I'm with you
But
on
yet
that
again,
one.
we don't know what really happened. But most of the times when someone ability does activate, they usually become unconscious
Yes.
after and then don't know what happens.
Which is why I think they did not know he survived until after he got out of the pit. And that's when they pretty much made him into a army brat. Because he was thrown in the pit with his family along with other people.
And then they started shooting. Yeah, it's
Oh no. This was after.
Oh, this after the
After.
firing squad.
Oh yeah. So he was literally laying with his dead family
I see.
and other people.
That is
so
true.
going back to what you were saying, I think he used a bit of his power that he didn't know he had, protected himself like a thin layer.
Yeah, either a thin layer or he stopped it right before skin
Yeah.
contact. Or I understand.
And
Yeah.
then passed out.
Mm-hmm.
Making it look like
due to
he
the
died.
fact of trauma and you're about to, you're about to go see Jesus. So
And a lot of power being used.
yeah, yeah, like that trauma and that, adrenaline rush. You don't know what's happening.
So, yeah. That was a lot that happened in just that amount of time. But he did find him a little lady.
Yeah, after the years went by,
Yeah.
little lady, saying.
And he also practiced his own with his magnetic powers, figuring out what he can and can't do. Of course, you will have to do that in silence
Yes.
because
Just the fact of that time, consecration camps, and then war here, war there,
yeah, and if you
the
try to do
fear,
something
the fear of being caught and everything like that. Yeah.
caught, used for military gain, oof, that's never fun.
Nope, never fun.
But he met the love of his life.
A nice, lovely lady.
And they got together. They had one child. And with this one child, I'm guessing somebody found out he was a mutant.
Back in the day, mutant same thing of racism and stuff. People didn't like mutants because of them being of a Homo sapien.
Yeah.
Think like they're superior. We need to control and contain before it gets a little out of control. So
Exactly.
I understand.
You can do something I can't do, so I'm going to try to control you.
Yes. So you don't control me.
But Max wasn't having that.
No, sir. No, sir.
Now, he didn't go on a tangent or anything like that. Nah. He was nice and classy. He just pushed them to the side. But they didn't like that. So, went to the house where his wife and daughter were staying. set that thing on fire.
But the thing is, while he was at work, they did that.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of messed up. While he was at work, that's a low blow right there.
Who you telling? And you know what's worse? They tried to stop him from going.
Oh yes, because I did read up on there was an incident where the police came, or military type of thing, because I think he got in an argument with his boss or something like that, and he hit his boss with some metal pipe. Okay, that pipe came out of nowhere. Bam!
Oh yeah.
And then I guess they were trying to procrastinate him, let us stay, talk to him, trying to catch him and everything. He slipped away, of course.
Yep. And once he seen where that fire was coming from,
he rushed there.
Oh no.
H back home.
He seen what was going on. They still tried to stop him. So he's like, you know what? Bet. I'm gonna rip this town apart. So
so when he got to the place, his house that was on fire, of course, any father, any husband, you know how concerned that person will be.
Running in without any concern for their own well-being.
Anybody would do that. They'll run into a house full, caught on fire. Don't care about no suit. Don't care about nobody. Don't care about their life. They just care about their loved ones. Apparently he don't even know if they're trapped in there or not.
Yeah, but luckily he was able to get in, get his wife. Sad to say, the daughter didn't make it.
But the miracle of it, or the astonishing part, and that part playing, was how he was unfazed, untouched by the flames. Somehow he had a magnetic field all over his body. I don't know how you can do that with magnets, but we'll get a little more into that later on. But he put a protective suit all over him and walked right through the fire. I was about, boy, when I read that, I was like, boy, this guy right here, he got Jesus powers.
Close to a god.
Close to a god.
But, alas, I guess his wife didn't know either. Because the second they got out and they were good, the wife just left without notice.
And like a good reason his wife left, because after he couldn't save his daughter, he was of course, anybody would be traumatized, sad, angry. And the first thing he did, he went on a slight rampage.
Slight?
Guess who he went first?
Where?
Guess who he went after first? He went after his boss. The boss that caused him all the pain. He was biting his lip all these years. He was just biting his tongue, but he just went after he went after his boss. He got him. He went after the police department or the military. He got them. Then after that, they fled. So, like you said, after his wife seen all of that, she feared for her life, and felt like this is not a good fit. Yeah. So she got up and left.
She had to. Because if she would have stayed, I don't think she would have been truly happy.
She wouldn't be truly happy. Back. Yep, looking over her back, scared. And then scared that if someone finds out that he's a mutant, they're going to come after him and her again. I mean, sometimes, you can love somebody and... Okay, I'm not going to get into that because I might get a little emotional. Oh. But anyway...
I still love you, brother.
Thank you.
But, yeah, all that happened. And what Magneto did not know after his wife left him, she was pregnant with twins.
Oof. That's, oof.
Yeah. Not one. Two. And their names, Wanda and Pedro. So, with that, no one knew exactly who the father was until some time down the line.
Yep, and that was the other point of her fleeing too, because she didn't want him to know that he had kids to them to be a fact, and she
Let
didn't want
alone,
them to grow up in that lifestyle like him.
but unfortunately for her, they end up having powers.
I mean, she probably felt that was like, ooh, why? No, why couldn't it be normal?
Yeah,
Don't forget, the weirdness is the new normal now.
gotta love it. So let's hop into some of the abilities that Mr. Magneto has. So, of course,
Magnetism?
magnetism manipulation. It is a umbrella, basically. He can use a magnetic force field, which we already talked about. That's how he got through the fire. And he has a magnetic armor, which I think it was either the armor or the force field that he used when he was a child at gunpoint. Because you're not going to get through that if you can stop it. Now, I'm not 100%, but I think that's what happened.
Cause if yeah, I think it's the armor.
Right.
I think Don't forget, everybody. We're not really 100% accurate on this. This is all for good storylining for you do your own study also.
Yes.
But I believe it's the. I would say it was the armor that protected him, and then while he was going through the fire, it was the magnetic field.
Mm.
'Cause when you look at it properly, the bullets are something of a product,
Yeah.
a hard, a hard material, something physical, and the fire is more of an element or a gas.
Right.
So,
No, I see. Because the fire is pretty much being pushed back with the field as he's just moving where he needs to go. And the
yeah,
armor.
because if you have the armor when fire, I mean, it might protect you still, but you can still get hurt, burned or heated.
Yeah, you can
get
still
hot.
feel all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. And then you have magnetic ray. Now, when I first looked this up, I'm like, what would you need a ray for? But Magi, he educated me on this. That's his main power that he uses. Well, his main ability that he uses to pick up any item or pick up his, I guess so say, friends, air quotes.
His associates. Get it right, man. Get it right. He don't have friends. He has associates.
No, he has one friend.
We'll get into that a little later on, but we'll see.
And of course, defying gravity with magnets. Well, magnetic.
All right, so a little more of the magnetic ray. 'Cause, when you see think about magnetic ray, you probably think of Flash Gordon, not DC Flash Gordon. I'm talking about Flash Gordon, that space pirate guy. They might space things or something in particular like that. Cause like a gun, a ray gun or something like that, magnetic ray gun. But no, because when you think about it, the ray gun from his hands, in some aspect, you can see in his comics where he puts out his hand and it's like a wavelength, a wave
Yeah.
force coming out of his hands. That will consider his ray for him to control things, pull things,
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's a better understanding of the ray.
Now, he has gotten better with it to where he doesn't really have to look too much at the person or the thing to make it levitate.
Yeah, because it's I think it's more of a feeling. Because some a sonogram like a bat pulsing out,
Yeah,
and he
you
can
gotta
probably
have limits.
Yes, there's certain limits.
Because I don't think he can pick. Well, he did pick up a whole football stadium, so I can't say that.
No, but see how long he took and how much of a strain.
This is true.
Because I mean, he probably can do. He could probably pick up the shift the world around. Probably stop from moving because the world is on a magnetic
He
turntable.
technically somewhat moved the Statue of Liberty, but again, he didn't last long because
Of the strain, and how heavy it is, and this is probably that was his first time using it.
Yeah, that's pretty much a big feat for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're able to do stuff like that, pretty much make the Statue of Liberty into a doll that you can move around.
Oh, that is true. He could, if depending on how they built it, he could use it to make it move, make it into active soldier. Because Statue of Liberty do got like a little a bronze, I will call it a mace in her hand, in her hand.
And
then she do like a little unicorn with the crown on her head.
All she gotta do, all he gotta do, make her move. Oh, you got a whole problem.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, she can be the new Rhino.
I don't know about going that far, but you're pretty close.
Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about his. Okay, this is some people might think that. To me, this is my personal opinion. Some people might think that Magneto can fly, but no. N to the O.
Okay.
And that equals no.
So I'm not going to disagree with you, but at the same time, yes, he can.
Come on, shoot your shot then. Shoot your shot.
Okay. So I understand what you're talking about because magnetic flight, he can pretty much just levitate. That's all he's doing.
I call that floating.
I mean, it's still levitation, just a different
floating.
word.
Don't forget, he can control magnets. Magnets can control what? What element? It starts with an M, just like magnets, and ends with an L. Metal. And what does he wear? A metal suit.
Okay.
Like a mech.
Now then, how do you explain his associates that he lift up? Because Mystique, she don't be wearing a metal.
Yes, but Mystique is a chameleon. If she want to look gangster with a bunch of chains and bling bling bling, she just changed her body. Boom, that mother trucker has got a bunch of gold teeth and everything.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, I'm making it up, but still.
Yes, you are. It's like, again, yes, he levitates. I'm not saying float. Levitate is a proper word. He levitates, but he also uses it to propel himself.
But that's not.
I'm not saying it's flying, but it technically somewhat in the smallest, littlest fraction flying.
It's tossing. He's tossing himself through the air.
He is T-posing the entire time.
Yes, that's the thing. Cause look at flight. Flight is a preparation either of a jump, a stance, or you have some type of thing wrong with your body that you can actually fly.
Not all the time, because even with Superman, he doesn't jump all the time. He just.
But don't you see his toes pushing him up? You got to do those. Get those quads, baby. Get those quads in. Get those quads.
Yes, he does leg day every day.
Every day.
But I hear what you're saying. I understand. I do not disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But it is technically flying in that world. Because if somebody can do something you can't do, it's flying. If you walk outside and you see somebody levitating and they are in a T-pose stand, you're still going to call that flying, no matter what. because they are in the sky. They are not on the ground.
No.
You cannot
I
tell
will
me
tell them, get your butt down from floating in that stupid sky, cause that you don't look right at all.
whatever. You're lying to me and to yourself and to the viewers. But yes, it is not flying. It is just levitating and propelling yourself with the magnetic force. He's not flying at all. Like,
All right.
I will give you that one, but I just had to explain in a different way.
Okay, I understand.
Yes. So, now, of course, metal and matter manipulation. We all know that. Speaking of matter, that's how he lifts up everyone.
Yes.
So,
Or with that part too.
oh, here we go.
Oh, hush. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. That part too, for him to lift up other people, and they don't really have nothing of metallic on them. Don't forget, it's magnet. Magnet, north and south. North and south, what they do.
Yes.
They push and connect.
This is true.
Yeah, north and north, south and south. So he used that magnetic field around them, maybe to lift them up or toss them away. But you don't really see it too often. But yeah, you can.
I mean, that's his number one thing, but you can't give it to Wolverine because adamantium skeleton. So I don't give him that one.
We don't talk about Wolverine because that's his worst enemy. Wolverine's worst enemy is Magneto. He can't really do nothing
That's
about
what I'm
it.
saying. I can't give it to him because he loses.
He loses it was just step inside the ring. The match is over. Like forfeit. I'm just gonna forfeit. I don't feel like fighting this guy. Because I can't do nothing anyway.
But you also have the rest of the X-Men who don't have metal.
Except for Colossus.
He is made of metal.
He's made. I don't know how. How does he walk outside in the sun?
He was. We'll go to that one in another story because I want to get into that.
I mean,
but
and he sound what is he, Russian, British,
yes.
German, something? Because but if he was a African American boy, black on metal, woo, ooh, God, I don't know what you did with this pigmentation in the sun stuff. Ooh. Anyway, we'll get into that more in a different segment.
But as I was saying, he pretty much picks up people and yeets them in different directions. Don't even care. He will look at you and be like, "You're in my way. You're in my way." Oh, hi.
And then if he can't do that with themselves, he always can get a flying object close by.
Pretty much, there will be a random box or
something
of
metal.
Beam.
You just rip it off the wall or rip it from its place and kapow!
Or at one point, I think I've seen this, but I'm gonna have to fact check that one. Just metal beams coming from the ground and wrapping somebody up in it, so that they can't move.
Mm-hmm. You can give a little extra damage.
Yeah, and in the real world, you do that, that's an instant kill.
That is true, that is true.
Yeah, there's no getting past that. You will die.
I mean, if regular, yes. In the real world, yes, people will die. Unless you have that delicate touch. But, Magneto, he was a smooth guy. He got that delicate touch, wrap you around nice and warm without killing you.
Yeah. But you're not wrong because he didn't want to completely take out his mutant brothers and sisters. Only the humans. His other ability has organic iron manipulation. Now, I believe that falls under Colossus and Wolverine, because that's technically organic.
Yes, something part of you, and part of your skin, or something that's internal. Because in the movie, we can't quote which one, but I believe it was X-Men United, or it could have been X-Men 2. I don't know for sure. Where he was, I guess, imprisoned by, I don't know if it's from the United States Army or something like that, and he was placed in a plastic prison. Either it was made out of plastic, made out of anything that didn't have armor. So he did speak with Mystique to devise up a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And, Mystique, she's a bad, what I'm saying? She could change into anything you like, boy.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
So, due to that fact, she changed into a, good-looking woman and seduced one of the security guards that was caretaking Magneto. And she ejected into him, a bunch of mercury. She put a mercury powder in his drink. He took a sippy sip.
Oh no, that's not how it went. Even though that sounds nice, that's not how it went, and you know it.
So how did it go?
See, she had a syringe, stabbed it into his neck while she was kissing on him.
Oh, I think she roofied him. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's the little powder. So, you little roofie,
And
baby. Good time, baby.
Put enough mercury in his bloodstream where it wouldn't kill him. We'll get to that part later. But it would
get a good dosage,
yeah,
so,
it'll just be in there.
In his system.
Now, he doesn't even know what happened. Oblivious to the whole thing. Has a little band-aid on his neck, thinking it was a bug bite. So, he goes on by his merry way. Was sent to give Magneto his lunch.
On a plastic tray and plastic forks and spoons.
Everything plastic or glass. No metal at all. Or so we thought. So, after he got in, Magneto was just doing the regular, talking to him, and he pretty much put his hands out and ripped out the mercury that was in his body with his magnetic force. And Mystique put enough mercury in him to make 3 mercury orbs.
Pellets. Like pellets from a
Yeah.
shotgun. Something like that. Pellets like that.
But they were still big enough to make like a platform for him to walk on.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah.
I can't remember that one.
Well, he didn't walk on it, but he stood on one, and he had like 2 of them. And you know how skinny he is. He's old.
Mm-hmm.
So that was enough for him.
Well, don't forget he can be one with the metal, so it'll feel like he's floating in the sky. Floating in the sky. Not flying.
Whatever. In that aspect, he was floating on Mercury. But, yeah, after he got the Mercury out, of course the man died.
Yeah, because he literally ripped it out of his bloodstream.
That's a painful death I don't want to experience.
No, his blood was boiling.
Oof. And then he pretty much just sent the Mercury at different guards, going pop, 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 while he's just floating on one and slowly coming at you. Like, dude, do you know how terrifying that is? You have Grandpa just slowly coming at you. At a slow pace, mind you.
Yes, and you look at his feet or whatever, You see, what's that? A little tiny piece of metal ball? What?
No, it's not even a ball. It's like a plate.
Oh, he flattened it.
Yeah.
Oh, he flattened it. Okay,
and you could barely see it. So he's floating.
Oh, you probably had to. You had to stand still, look at it. You had to tippy toe, then go underneath, go on the floor, and see what's this, huh?
And you talking to your homeboy. You trying to see what's going on. You look over. He dead. And then you end up dying. So
that's crazy. I have to relook at that scene.
That was terrifying to see, to even think about. So, the next power is electromagnetic vision.
See, with that one we're a little iffy about. But what my assumptions with that is, of course, everything has magnetic field. Everything has a magnetism everywhere. Even the whole world is rotating on magnets, technically.
Of course.
So, due to his powers and how in tune he is with magnets, I guess the way he can feel it. He can feel it, feel what's its surrounding. Maybe because through that, he can actually have the feeling of it to make an image in his mind to actually see what's going on.
So I'll cut you off right there, real quick.
I don't know how far of a distance it is or how he can reach, but
now I'm going to dip into Avatar real quick.
Okay.
And say he is the magnet version of Toph Bayfeng. Only though he has his eyes, so you can see.
don't tease the girl like that.
I'm not teasing. I'm just making.
I said, yeah, girl. Back, dude probably said, yeah, girl, I'm better than you because you know why? You know why I'm better than you? I got my eyes. I can see.
I got your powers and my eyes. But yes, I would classify that under there, but just in a magnetized setting. Because I'm not saying he has to stomp on the ground or anything like that, although that would be pretty funny to see. But I would say probably about putting his hands out or just meditating. And he can pretty much have, I would say, a good, maybe a football field or 2 football fields area to just see everything. Now, again, I'm not an expert. This is just a thought, which I thought was pretty good. It's crazy, but pretty good. And the last one is electromagnetic. I am not going to pronounce this well, so I'm going to have him pronounce it.
So it's electromagnetic spectrum manipulation.
So let's get into that one, because as far as I know, with spectrums, that's like a different varieties. Because you have like the light spectrum and the color spectrum. Now, I don't know too much about magnetizing stuff and the spectrum of that, but is there really different spectrums of magnets? I mean, I know there is, because I know there's magnets that are a lot stronger than most. Like, if you go to the junkyard, you'll see a crane with one of those big magnets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's powerful. And
it's powerful. It just picks up the stuff like
sometimes
crazy.
I'm afraid to go there because I do have, like, a screw in my knee.
Ooh.
So I'm like, I don't think it would be magnetized, but at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, if I go there and that thing is on, my knee is gone forever. But yeah, like, and then of course you got like the magnets that go on the fridge or you put on the blackboard when you're at school learning your ABCs and your colors. So
All right, so with electromagnetic spectrum manipulation, it so to my understanding it seems like it's every single manipulation from light, radiation, cosmic energy, infrared, radio, gamma, quantum, ultra level, X-ray, microwave, and
what the
thermal.
heck?
So anything that has microwavable, anything that has magnetic waves,
So
pretty much.
basically, he's OP.
Pretty much, he can probably go with Ant-Man in the quantum level and control the quantum level itself to create things. I bet, and
I mean, might as well.
he can actually maybe don't quote me on this because I don't think they have that. They might have it where he actually can fight. He can probably be toe to toe with the Hulk. Because the Hulk is pure gamma radiation,
Oh no!
and if you use his electromagnetic quantum
Nah,
manipulation,
nah.
come on,
I can't give you that one, brother.
think about
Do
it.
you not know the Hulk's line? Don't get him angry.
But it's not him being. That's true.
The angrier he gets, the more powerful
But
he
don't
gets.
forget,
And I'm pretty sure Magneto has a power cap when he uses that. And once that power cap is reached, everything goes out of control. And you cannot control the Hulk. There are other people who can, but he will be monumentally pissed off because you tried. So I can't give you the Hulk. At least, maybe I'll probably give you like when he was completely dumb Hulk.
so pretty much not almost full Rampage.
Yeah, I can't give you Bruce Banner Hulk because that he's too smart. I can give you Scar. That's World War Hulk. I'll give you that one. But then there's a lot of them, and we'll get into that in another episode. But then he's a genius, like genius level.
No, hold up. Let's back up a minute about this Hulk thing. Come on, because if you think about it, with Hulk, if you like make him float in the sky or put him in space, he has no footing. He has no structure.
He's in the space.
I mean, I know he can clap and push him away, use the air pressure.
Yes.
But if he doesn't think of that, if you just take him off 10 feet off the ground, he's incapable of doing anything.
Brother.
Kindish.
Brother.
If he can,
Brother.
use his punch to do a punch
Brother.
wave,
Brother.
air bullet, air bullet your butt.
So, you know how everyone has that fight or flight in their body whenever anything happens. He don't have that. It's only fight or fight harder.
Yes, but if you put him in the sky, if Magneto used his Magnum spectrum manipulation, electromagnetic spectrum manipulation, and uses his power to actually control the gamma radiation in his body, he can literally rip it out of his body or just lift him up in the sky.
Okay, I will give you that one.
I mean, yes, you can, Hulk can clap to push him away towards
them.
them.
The encounter before.
Yeah, I have to read up on that again.
Yeah, they fought.
Yeah, that's what's like. But yet again, the Hulk has footing. He has structure. When he has his foot on something, he can just propel and push himself off.
Yeah.
And
Again, I will not discredit what you're saying,
mm-hmm.
but he has that fight or fight harder in his body.
Yeah.
And if there were, and if it was Bruce Banner Hulk, he fights so much smarter.
Yes, that's so much fun. But when you look at this electromagnetic spectrum manipulation, it's a big variety of things. Like all the lists I said before,
Yeah.
even visible light and ultra rays. Isn't it what's her name? Miss Marvel? Isn't her power something of an ultra ray or a light ray?
Okay, on that there is Miss Marvel, and then there is she was just in WandaVision, and I cannot remember her name. I am so sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see WandaVision yet because it looked kind of okay. Continue.
But it was the black lady, and again, I'm so sorry. I will look it up and put it in the comments of who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. But what was her power or
Her power is basically she can absorb any energy. Any energy. Be it radiation.
So then that also falls under that category with Magneto.
Yes,
so
she can technically absorb not his magnetic. Maybe his magnetic.
Like I said, but
it's
that's the thing. They can go toe to toe because they'll just absorb and repel the power back and forth.
Oh dang,
that's if you put Magneto on that mindset of how powerful his electro spectrum.
If they let him go unhinged, he would rule everything. Like, again, genius level.
Yes, genius level.
He already knows about running a country.
Several times, you'll see.
And he already knows about military. It's his backstory and his father, R.I.P. So, he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
He made multiple groups. You have the Brotherhood. He got in with the X-Men.
For a short period of time.
Very short. The New Mutants. The Hellfire Club. That I'm not even sure what these say, but I know it says Avenger, and I don't remember him being on the Avengers. I have to fact check that one later.
I think that was either a different universe. I don't think it's the main universe, but yeah.
Or it could be like their own Avenger, like they're avenging their fallen brethren type deal. So that's why I'm going to be on. But yeah, he's smart, powerful, and I'm not going to lie, good looking.
Whoa there. Calm yourself, man. Calm yourself.
I'm not saying I would go after Grandpa, but how they got his hair slicked back like that?
He's smooth operator.
You know it. But he can still fall down towards mind manipulation, but not as bad as it once was.
Due to the fact of his
best friend, Charles Xavier, who led the X-Men
for quite a long period of time, actually.
Yeah. But as to what happened with that and how he pretty much developed that mindset to protect him
because he already has the strong willpower with or without his helmet,
Yeah,
and his helmet gave that extra. Because
I think it came from Charles. Like he was pretty much not fighting him because at that time they were best friends to the end. So he trained with him, and things happen.
so before we get into the best friend thing,
Go ahead.
so at that time after his wife, all the tragedy he went through, the encampment and the military thing, yeah, he happened to move to Israel.
That's right, he did.
So Israel. Yeah, guys. Israel is a really nice place if you look at it. I never been there. I always want to, but it's actually nice and peaceful. But I guess he wanted to get away from everything, trying to nice, simple, calm life, and he started to work at a hospital because if you do look at it, you could see a couple of like the movies and shows. You could see a little couple of aspects of them being in the medical field and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he met somebody named Charles Xavier, of course, and they became best friends because they was working at a psychiatric hospital, mental hospital. Cause of course, it's Xavier. He can go people's mind. Can't ease your nerves. Xavier can ease your nerves. Mamma mia.
Relax. Be like, calm down, kids. But yeah, so what else you got?
So they were at the hospital, and then Hydra. Oh God,
God dang it.
thinking Hydra.
And for you, those of you who don't know too much about Hydra, it is a Nazi organization, but not really with the Nazis. It's a little confusing, but it's an organization that was once led by Red Skull. Now, we won't get into him in this episode, but I just want you to know that guy led the group called Hydra, as you were, brother.
So after they had to fight Hydra at the hospital, I don't know how that happened, but most likely, because yeah, you can't get your head around that. If for being normal and not really into the comics and stuff, when you think of a big organization just attacking a hospital, for what reason?
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, and it's messed up. Like, why? It's a hospital. So they had to, unfortunately, reveal their powers.
Yeah.
To the world. So, and after that, they had to
flee for their lives.
But during their friendship, they find out, how they really became friends is they find out how similar their goals in life were. Because both of them wanted to show the world, the capabilities of a mutant.
Yes, they did.
Make sure don't chastise them, don't ridicule them, don't look down on them because they have a quote unquote disorder.
Yeah,
people might see.
To one another.
Just be love each other. But then again, the way Magneto thought of it was using force, and how Xavier thought about was using peace, in a calmer, slower way.
Basically, Magneto was the. Come on, say it.
You sure? I can say it.
Say it.
Are you sure? You sure it's safer to say it?
There is no safer place than here.
He was Malcolm X.
That is true. And Charles Xavier, he was the Martin Luther King.
Because if in our history, we all know that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they all had the same purpose. They fight for the same thing, but each of them had their own different views of things and how to and how to their different ways of doing it.
Exactly.
So we can get that little comparison with also Xavier and but that's the thing is the thing I mean y'all can help me out with this is the thing I want to understand was X-Men started in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, when did the rights movement started?
Ooh.
Because apparently the civil rights movement started from 1954 to guess what? 1968.
Oh dang.
So just thinking about that, I was thinking about that. God bless, God bless Stanley and
God
his
bless
other partner,
Stanley.
which we should all give respect to his other partner too, because he did help created X-Men and Marvel off. They got that idea off of Malcolm
Yeah.
and Martin Luther King.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
They really got that because, yeah, they really got that idea off of them. So did they copyright off of them? I mean, we'll get there because they might give us some legal issues.
I don't need anybody coming up over here. Come after us.
But they actually kind of copied off of them. Wow,
That is pretty good, and it makes sense. Now I'm not going to dive too deep in this, but I want to say it. The mutants are like the minorities of this whole world. They are not really there, and they're there, but people don't want them there. And if they want them there, they want them to work for them.
And seeing that they're different,
Yeah. And again, as I said, you're different. You don't look like me. So you either have two choices: work for me or die.
Pretty much. I'm going a little off topic here, but I just want to I just like to admire how these comic books creators and everything can get our daily reality lives, our history,
Yeah.
and turn it into something so beautiful, into a comic, something entertainment. Because a lot of people are not really on history or different that. Because some people might be a little boring to them and stuff like that. But
this is
how they can get that and transfer it into something entertaining that if you look at it, hey, this actually did happen.
Yeah.
And that can actually promote you to look in history and actually read up on it and get to your personal knowledge of what actually happened in our lifetime.
Yeah, because I definitely did not know about the World War as much as I used to. And I did not know about the Civil Rights Movement as much when it was parallel to each other. So they're bringing our world and the comic world together and making it easier for people to learn, digest without knowing. And I think that is amazing.
All right, a little correction for the first X-Men where Magneto was appeared in, it was 1963. So of course it was in between of the civil rights movement. So of course that's a good range. 5 years later, that's a good range of them using that aspect into his storyline.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. And since we're talking about in appearance, in 2000, oof, 2000, that's when he first appeared in X-Men. His first appearance was in 2000 movie X-Men.
Are we talking about the film?
The film.
Okay.
Just the film.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
By Sony and Fox.
Hush. Now, I was a little confused with the animated series. So, if you could look one up when he first got in, because I have a different one that I found funny. Because what I found was his first appearance was in 1967 in Spider-Man.
I mean, he did start it already in 1963.
For the animated series?
Oh, for the animated series.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I looked that up, I made sure to watch it a little bit because they had like a small clip. It did not look like Spider-Man. I mean, not Spider-Man. It did not look like Magneto. It pretty much looked like, got it. If you ever watch Back to the Future, Doc. I'm sorry. That's who it looked like.
Yes, Magneto appeared in 1967 Spider-Man's cartoon. The first actual appearance, of Magneto was in 1976 on Fantastic Four. Animated series episode The Menace of Magneto, but I probably as a villain. I don't know how. When you said you saw the episode with the Spider-Man, or you saw clips?
A clip.
Did they portray him as a villain, or
They portrayed him as a villain, but
he did not look like?
He did not have. He did not look like it, and instead of using his mutant powers, he had a gun, a magnetic ray gun.
There we go. That's where we get the ray gun from. They're his ray powers.
Oh my gosh. When I seen that, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. That was hilarious. But that was the first time, apparently, after the Fantastic Four.
Before the Fantastic Four.
Before the Fantastic Four?
It's before, yes. Fantastic Four was 1978.
Oh, 19. Ooh, yeah, that was way.
That's before.
So
I guess they did see, because everything is, if you look at it, society and media based and all these animations, everything's based off of viewers.
Right.
So since they probably put him at first, and viewers probably it's like, he's okay, and then they probably changed it up after that.
I mean, they had to,
because like they said, he started in 1963, and then his first animated appearance was in 1960. Was it 1968 or 1969? For the Spider-Man.
1967.
1967, he appeared in his animated form. So they probably said, hey, you probably had a good concept with Magneto, but yet he does not look like how he is in the comics.
No.
So that's probably why they, in the Fantastic Four series, they changed them back to his original comics.
Because again, if you ever watch Back to the Future, he looked like this. I'm not going to get over that. Because he looks like him. But now we're going to move into our next segment, Nen. And for those of you who don't know what Nen is, it's pretty much what ability from manipulator, enhancer,
transmuter, conjurer.
I think they're specialists.
Specialists. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And basically, it's like, what can you do? I mean, the enhancer speaks for itself, as well as the manipulator and transmuter and all of them. So, for me, I would categorize him under manipulator at 100%, and probably enhancer at like 50. What say you, Magi?
He can be, he can be. To me, he can be all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you want to specify, be specific.
All right.
If you want to be specific, because it's so many things. Because transmute, transmuting. He is pushing metal, out his hands, controlling it.
Not metal.
I mean, magnetism. Then he is a manipulation. He is manipulating things.
Mm-hmm.
But let me take that back. I don't think about the transmute. I think emission. Emission is more of a pushing out. I don't know. It's difficult.
I hear you. I hear you.
But I think, to me, mm, I think to me, probably 60% manipulation, 20% emission,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably 20% specialization because he does have a little specialized, therefore things like the force field. I mean,
And also the spectrum.
the spectrum, his cheat code, his
Okay.
ultimate cheat codes.
I will
It's
give
difficult.
you that. Now, weapons. Okay.
Well, if to a fact that he needed a weapon to either to give him an edge, because some people can, depending on the type of play style or ideal you have,
Right.
because even though he's mutant, not all animated series or animation or cartoons, everybody has a limit.
Yes. Now remember,
Because
this is our head canon. This is not in the actual storyline or the movies.
this is something that we just what we thought of, or of our creativity. So using our creativity, I believe no one should have unlimited powers. Everyone should have a limit.
Of
So
course.
if him having a limit, and you want to give him a weapon, to me, I would give him a staff or like a mage staff or battle staff to something to enhance his magnetic powers.
Hmm.
Even
Interesting.
though in X Men, it never really showed him having a limit, unless he's just getting beat up a lot and he just gets tired.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. Now, I would personally say, because of his powers, are the two things.
mhm.
Now, these two are way far out there. The first one is the kunai and throwing stars. Now, the next one would be a regular katana. Now, the katana, for me, because we just got done talking about the spectrum powers, he could pretty much just swipe you with a heat wave blast. But instead of going directly at you all full force in one ball, it'll be a nice clean cut. I thought that would be perfect for him. And with the kunai and the throwing stars, he could imbue the electric magnetic from his hands and just throw it, and instead of it going like a little softer than most people would do, oh no, that thing is tearing through you if he wants it to. Like if he throws a dead at you, he's not throwing it at you, he's throwing it through you. And that is dangerous. But also, if he wants you to just hang out, I mean, yes, he can just lift you up and put you at the wall, but
Mm-hmm.
if you want to use your kunai or throwing star,
Mm-hmm.
just hang him up on the wall. Be like, just stick around for a little bit. But that's what I think would be cool. Now, your staff, that's also a good idea. Because he can also use it to fight, not just imbue his
for
power.
for more close combat. He can use that for as a fight, and plus he can always use that in case he does have a limit. He can always slowly pour his power into the staff so he can store it. So when he does deplete himself, he can use that extra power as a backup battery or something like that.
Basically, to re energize himself. That's pretty cool. I like that. Like a traveling battery. Beat you with a stick and recharge myself at the same time.
And you can always put some electric attributes in it too.
Okay, okay. Like what?
And then like use it as a backup battery, and the staff can electrocute people when he hits them. That's just it. You can put some electricity attributes in the staff.
That's dangerous. That is dangerous.
It's like pow, zap, zap, zap.
So basically, you pretty much gave Magneto a what is it called? A taser.
Yes, a taser, a baton, taser
Yes.
baton.
Okay. Not bad, man. Not bad. So, closing thoughts. Anything?
So, so what? I mean, so this segment today was all about villain. So leave in comments or messages personally if you like. That what do you think, is Magneto a villain, an anti-hero, or a hero?
How you say it? A misunderstood hero.
Misunderstood hero, yes, misunderstood. Because to me, everyone has their views. Everyone has their political views, their religious views, and his view is what he believes in. But can we say that he was right or wrong, or he just misunderstood?
Now, for me, and this is me personally, I'm gonna go with he's a misunderstood hero, but at the same time, he's a villain. Not anti-hero, no, just straight villain. Misunderstood, definitely, because they probably don't know his backstory, don't know all the stuff he's been through, and how he's going about it. Not the best.
Yeah, it's not the best. 'Cause look at it. Look at it this way. Like I said, this is our personal thought. This is my personal thought. Look at it this way. All that stuff he been through.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he might get a little angry, resent, like, oh, this is all I need to lash it back onto the world. 'Cause look how he was treated during the World War One.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's depending on how the person, the surroundings they grow up. That's, like I said, once again, this is my personal thought. Is how they grew up and how they carry themselves is depending on how they grew up. Because if you think about it, that's their normal.
Yeah. And he was trying to make a better world for the mutants.
But the way he did it was the way how he was treated.
Yeah, because, again, I don't really like diving into it, but we're going to do this. How the Nazis pretty much took out the Jews. Again,
this is history, everybody.
we're diving into this. It's history. Don't come after us. He's doing the same thing as the Nazis did. But he wants change. But you're doing the exact same thing. So how do you want change if you're going to do the same thing as they did? It's just history repeating itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that to happen. We want things to be better without going to war,
Exactly.
without killing,
Hmm.
stealing. Just come together and love one another.
Yep.
Well,
So that's pretty much it, folks. And our this is our thoughts, our insight, our personal opinions. Once again, this is SuperWho. We get into the nitty gritty of things, but mostly this is for entertainment purposes.
yeah, so
And our thoughts and views. Our information might not be totally correct, but I hope you had fun listening to us.
had a couple laughs and learn a little bit while you're at it.
So put in into the comments and stuff how you like our video or our segment that we had, our talking segment we had on Magneto.
Yeah, because we enjoy doing it and we want to do more for you guys. And there's going to be a new Marvel movie coming out called Wakanda Forever. It's going to be a good movie. I feel it.
I have to read up on the comics because I want to see how they put the aspect of how Black Panther died. I don't know too much in the comics because I know in the comics I heard that he did die of
Yes,
like
he
different
did.
versions, different universes of the comics. He did pass, but I want to see how God bless our the good actor that portrayed um
T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman.
yeah yes him. I want to see how they just concept how because pretty much this is actually a tribute to the actor himself,
Yes.
not Black Panther or nothing like
No.
that.
No.
It's I like how like I said I like how our creators these days can implement our reality into our entertainment and make it so beautiful.
Yeah, every little bit is changing the world.
So I really looking forward for the movie to see how they give this tribute to him. 'Cause I do like those white clothes. It was looking fine. It was looking good.
Oh, it was. Now, you can if you want to. I know I will. At opening night, come out, support, and wear white. If you cannot do it, you don't have to. But show your support to Marvel. Show your support to Chadwick Boseman. Show your support to Wakanda. That's my rant for the day. We'll be signing out. My name is Kylo.
No, hold on.
Oh,
You're actually gonna wear white?
yeah, I'm over.
You're gonna wear all white?
No, I'm going to wear a white dashiki,
Okay, that's pretty good. That's cool.
either some jeans or black pants.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good support it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of people gonna be doing that. That'd be cool.
Well, if we can do that, show our support, not to be in like a racial thing where only black people do it. No, we will all do this as a community who loves Marvel
And
who
love
is-
that great actor too.
Yes. So you hear it first from Kylo. Forget about what anybody says. Wear your white.
It could be a white T-shirt, white V-neck, a white tank top.
Come out and support.
Even if you don't have the white, still come out to support.
Exactly.
So once again, this is SuperWho. This is Magi.
And this is Kylo.
I hope you enjoyed us.
And enjoy the rest of your day. And have a Marvel day.
Have a marvelous day.